All right, so we were doing repair on a vehicle, a Montana van with the 3.9 engine. Here's one of the twisted pair for one of the CAN high-speed network cables, and this section of wire had been tested a few times, and then had some pretty obvious damage to it. Which just kind of wanted to point out some of the interesting things we found on this wire. Now, first of all, the ultimate failure. So this here, right by the connector, had been twisted and moved around a lot. And you can kind of tell by the wire, little messed up there. And when you pull on it, you see how the wire can extend and contract a little bit. If there was copper, if there was copper inside of that wire, you wouldn't be able to do that. Say if I took this line and tried to do that and tugged on it, there's no movement at all. Whereas this other line, you can see how it stretches in that one portion of insulation, telling me that there's some broken wires inside of there. And that's our point of no connection, and that was our intermittent failure for sure. However, when I got in here and started looking at it and looked at some of the testing processes, now this had been tested out by several technicians prior to us getting it. And I look at some of these testing processes, and I was just kind of dumbfounded with some of these processes. And if you look right there, look, so somebody took a knife or a blade and just decided to cut that insulation right off and expose the copper wire for a testing purpose. Hey, people, if you do that, go ahead for your testing, but completely cut that wire, strip it, put a sealed connection in there, and repair the damn wire when you're done. Like this is horrendous to leave out there. If this was just left out there and you were allowed corrosion and water to get in there, this wire would not survive very long. And whoever that technician was just induced a problem into this wire instead of removing it. And then even further in, you see, get some areas like this where you could see it was poked. Well, not too well, but can't see too well. I mean, but it was poked and prodded, and you can kind of see some of the insulation damaged right in that middle area. And then a little further up here, almost almost some strands where the wires melted together, physically melted together and got hot. That wouldn't have been because of the communication, because communication has very low current, definitely will not get that hot. However, that would have definitely happened from somebody not securing a harness properly. So this harness was running too close to an exhaust manifold, and even inside the conduit, that melted the wiring, and you couldn't see the damage externally, but we can definitely see the damage internally. So these poor two wires have lived quite a life and were an ultimate failure to a vehicle. But I was more dumbfounded by the poor testing processes and the poor routing of the harness, and you're getting it all around those hot areas and things like that. Just when you're testing and working on your wires, be more careful and look for little deals like that where you might have a broken wire internal in the insulation. Have a good one, everyone.